I think I'm back. Am I fucking back? I think I may be back. I think I'm back. Yeah, I'm back, all right.
But this is who she is, and this is
He?
who we are.
I reacted to Olivia transitioning like most older siblings would, which is kind of like, but really? Even though I'm trans, I got
Because it is just like a battle for
a
attention.
little defensive because I thought it was my thing.
Exactly, it's a thing. Exactly, dude. It's a trendy thing. There you go.
But
they're admitting it.
I saw and
It's a trendy thing that came out like 7 to 12 years ago because of the internet.
still
That's
see
it.
that Olivia is a girl and that she always will be a girl.
He helped me
No, that's not,
by making me confident because
You didn't know I was,
you're like my first supporter, so it made me very
but like, I think we get along pretty well, and when we don't, it's not like we stay mad at each other forever. Because we can't.
It's all fucking weird, man. It's all it's just hippy-dippy fucking...
Olivia.
Yes?
Olivia?
Yes?
Luckily with Olivia, she's so young. She's only 7.
Luckily with Olivia, she's so young. She's only 7. So we can really, really mold her mind.
The first thing would be a hormone blocker, and that's not
Well, yeah, it's just treating your kids like a fucking project, like a you know, stuffed animal or something.
until she would hit stage
Like a
2
toy.
of puberty. As of right now, we just follow her
Like a
lead.
novelty.
All right, let's head out.
And we parent, for those of you who think that we're just following our children around and doing nothing.
Yeah, we do.
For anyone who says that we're pushing an agenda,
Yep.
I would ask them to look at their own children. If you can't find a way to love your child,
What do you
and
mean?
your faith or your fears are more important than your
Yeah, oh yeah, you're just scared. I know, of course, yeah. See, this is them gaslighting
own
us.
child, then don't look
You don't care for your own child because you're scared. That's what it is. Because you don't want to punch a hole in your kids, whatever, like...
at me, look at yourself.
I mean, that's basically what it leads up to, eventually, is, like, a guy, like, punching a vajayjay into himself.
Are going about this because we're listening to our children and because we're doing a lot of research. And research has proven that we're doing the right thing.
No.
I learned the scary statistics of what happens when a parent is not supportive of their transgender
Oh,
child.
really? And what are those?
The high amount of suicide that occurs scared me so much that I knew that no matter what, fear...
So she's attributing the high level of suicide to not transitioning, when we know what the evidence shows
or hesitation
already,
we had, or concern that the only thing our children could and should and would feel from us would be love and acceptance.
There was a grieving process
Just,
for
see,
me.
that always just sounds nice, but I mean, love and acceptance of what? Of delusion?
When both
Of dysphoria? I mean, of confusion?
of my children transitioned.
I don't understand.
It wasn't because I didn't love my child anymore. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with me navigating a world that I just knew nothing about. It was very scary, and as time has gone
Dude,
on...
nobody should know anything about it. Your kids would not have been interested in it had they not known anything about it.
I've learned...
Like, people in the comments are saying, I was playing with, you know, action figures and, like, thinking about the moon when I was that age. I had absolutely no inclination to think about gender fucking ideology. What the
trust that
fuck?
there is community, there is support, and this is real.
Nope.
There is
I
a concern
disagree.
from a lot of people that this could be a phase and this ultimately may not be who they are, but knowing that they're going to always have the experience of love and acceptance from us is key. We will love and accept them if they come to us tomorrow and say that they've changed their mind. We will love and accept them if they don't. And we actually do check-ins with them that they are happy and that they are confident in the gender and the name and the pronouns and that there isn't any kind of
It's
wave.
the constant checking in. You see all these different hints that this is just being rehearsed for them and, like, set up for them. That they want this. The parents want this trendy thing.
Hi.
Hi.
It's most important to hear from the transgender
I'm sorry,
community itself because we're
I
not
mean,
living
yeah,
that
dude,
experience.
right?
We're the parents of these people. We can absolutely give you our take on our experience, but the true meat of the story is to engage transgender people themselves.
The fact that our kids are transgender is one of the most unextraordinary things about them. They are both
Right.
so amazing, and it's not because they're trans.
But is it like all you talk about?
Beyond that, they are funny and bright.
Like it's, you know, I'd like, how can I look into what this chick does for a living? Like I'm saying, it probably is, wait, Ben and Sarah, that is so oy vey, alicious. Ben and Sarah in Berkeley, transgender politics.
Bright and silly and caring and loving and compassionate, all sorts of amazing things, and gender is just one piece of that.
Yeah, the research does say the exact opposite, but they just confidently assert it. They continue to just confidently assert it over and over and over again until it becomes true in enough people's just
Being
crazy
trans
mixed
is
up
just
heads.
a little part of me. My family, my friends, a lot of things make me me.
We're not different. We shouldn't be treated better or worse.
Overall, I'm like super happy with my situation. I have all I could ask for, especially with my coming out and with where I am now. I have all the support I need.
I gotta say, man, I wouldn't know what to do in a situation like that. I would have absolutely no idea. Like, if your kid at like age 8 to 12 or something comes to you, and we know it's like they've been scooped up by like internet or school propaganda, right? You know, homeschooling is ideal, but not everybody can fucking do that. You know, it's sad as fuck that a lot of families might feel the need to effectively drop their kid off at a frickin', I mean, where they're getting their heads filled with this crap by these monsters, right? I mean, it's pretty sketch, dude. It's pretty fucking sketch. Just looking at this, really expensive, dude. I mean, this is just a grift, isn't it? This is making fat stacks. $1,200 a month for injections of hormone blockers. $4,500 to $18,000 for an implant. Like what? One boob? It's $18,000. I mean, fuck. That's fucking out of this world. Here's another fucking article that I found. The real case of censorship that proves cancel culture outrage is bullshit, by David S. Cohen. Right-wing pundits are ready to go off at a business decision they don't like, but when it comes to real censorship of a student who cares about trans rights, they've been silent. Probably because that's just the exception to the rule, and because those types of people, as we just saw in the video we just watched, probably should not have a platform, because the entire point is them grooming kids. So anyway, the conservative outrage about cancel culture, quote-unquote, I guess, this past week reached a fevered pitch. Let me put on some fucking lo-fi hip-hop, actually. Let me find that shit. Find that. Relax and study to. Let's study the enemy to this lo-fi hip-hop vibe, okay? A bit loud here, though. I might turn it down just a little bit in a second, but beautiful. Right-wing politicians have used their CPAC speeches and social media accounts to decry people being forced to change what they say in the name of mob sentiments. Culture war commentators in newspapers and online outlets have written lengthy broadsides against this current form of political correctness. Fox News has seemingly spent more time on the issue than the pandemic that still grips the country, right? Because your shutdowns, blah, 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 and your snot rags have killed way more people in your riots. So shut your fucking mouth. I'm so sick of that, dude. Like, peppering in, the pandemic. Just peppering dude, just anything. You know what I mean? This right-wing focus has been couched in the honorable defense of free speech and free thought. Yeah, I'm sure a Cohen understands what honor is, okay? Those are fundamental principles to this country, no doubt, but don't be fooled. American conservatives have no interest in these abstract principles. Instead, all they care about is defending a time when racism, sexism, anti-LGBT sentiments were commonplace and acceptable, okay? Look at this. Look at how they do this. They make you associate the reader. Anti-LGBT sentiments, okay? So like a video that I just did, that's something they would consider in that category. Questioning the transgender sort of narrative and whether or not kids should be roped up into that, okay? So they don't think that should be, they don't think that is freedom of speech. They don't think that counts as freedom of speech. Straight up, they don't think that counts as the definition of freedom of speech. So if it's waithism, sexism, whatever the fuck, they still don't think it counts. How fucking stupid, dude. Because it obviously does. Right? This is I support free speech, but I don't. You know what I mean? Consider this story that completely failed to make a dent in the right-wing media scape, and I wonder why. 2 years ago, a 4th grade teacher in South Carolina public school asked students to write an essay to society on any topic that the principal was then going to collect into a booklet for the entire class and their families. One of the students in the class submitted a paragraph for this assignment on a topic that she cared deeply about. When the principal went to compile the essays into the class booklet, the principal decided that the essay topic was not appropriate, would be disagreeable, and would make other parents upset. See, that's the principal just like easing, like breaking it to the kid easy that, like, kid, your parents indoctrinated you into a far leftist cult where you think that, like, genitally mutilating mentally ill people is rational, okay? So we're not gonna fucking freak people out. We're not gonna freak out the squares and the normies with your creepy little, you know, nonsense, okay? Ultimately, the principal and the teacher forced the student to write her essay about a different topic entirely. Earlier this week, a federal appeals court ruled that the principal and the school district were well within their rights to refuse public. Of course they were. Of course they were. Dude, deplatform the hell out of that stuff. It's all destructive and evil. Like, it's evil and destructive by design, man. You know? And it is one big coincidence. Haha. The fact that the government censored a student's paper based on concerns about what the public wanted barely registered on social media or mainstream news. I couldn't find a single politician who said a word about this case. And whatever, you're probably misrepresenting it anyway. And I don't care. We all know that the rule is someone opposing the transgender agenda is the one getting deplatformed. We all know that is the rule, that this is the exception, and it doesn't matter because this is pseudoscientific crap. It doesn't belong in school, and it's grooming kids. That's what it is, okay? This kid that they censored or whatever, okay, this kid was just brainwashed by their parents or by media, and there's a lot of fucking jackal fucking charlatans out there that just need to be fucking stopped, in my opinion, so... I couldn't find a single politician who said a word about this case, and the commentators who are filling screens in newspapers with screeds about cancel culture have said nothing, instead focusing on sharing memes and stoking outrage about Dr. Seuss, Mr. Potato Head, and the Muppets. Dude, people were fired because they tweeted Trump as your president. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking kvetching ass Cohen fucking face, okay? What explains this pin drop silence in the face of actual government censorship? Reading the student's actual essay will answer the question. Here's what the student wrote, with all the cute misspellings that come from quoting a 4th grader. I don't know if you know this, but people's views on transgenders is an issue. People think that men should not dress like a woman and saying mean things. They think they're choosing the wrong thing in life. And in the world, people can choose who they want to be, not being told that their diction is wrong. I hope people understand that people can hurt themselves from others hurting their feelings. That is a really bizarre statement. No, and it's not true. There's no scientific evidence to substantiate that claim at all. Like, oh, I'm gonna call you a he instead of a she, that causes suicidality. No evidence to substantiate that whatsoever. Bougie shit lives from the coasts just think that, and since they have enough power, money, and influence to convince enough people of that, you know, that's a mainstream viewpoint that people have. So enough of this little essay, okay? They censored the essay, blah, 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 hypocrisy, Dr. Seuss, blah, blah, blah. I mean, these people suck. They're just lying hypocrites. They're trying to fucking say that anyone else but them is being hypocritical. But no, it's like in public schools, we don't even need to finish this. It's all bullshit. It's like, look at this exception to the rule. Oh, someone writing in favor of transgender issues was censored in a public school versus the 99.99 repeating percent of the time when it's someone criticizing transgender issues who gets fucking deplatformed, fired, beat up, drink thrown in their face, vandalized, killed, business burned down, you name it, it happens. Versus how many times, like, some bleak, you know, in the hood beats up a transgender person and it goes unsolved, but we just know that that person got beat up or whatever, or killed, and we immediately are told by the media, blogosphere, right, that it's a fucking, you know, like, we're to assume that it's like white supremacist system, yada yada yada. We don't even need to fucking finish this. We know the drill. So next time someone uses the nonsense term cancel culture or anything like it, make sure you understand exactly what they're talking about. Not the idea of free speech or censorship, but rather the underlying substance of what is being canceled. In other words, the right in this country cares not about free speech, but rather about protecting waifism and thefism. They just don't want to say it that way, okay? These people aren't trying to materially improve the lives or the quality of life of any human being on the planet. They're just using wedge weasel words like this to further justify rioting, looting, hurting people, arson, gender transitioning little boys, cutting off little boys' dicks, you know, like doing Weinstein, Epstein type shit. And you know what? If you don't like it, to end this fucking stream, I got a message from one Chris Raygun, okay? Nobody cares. Subscribe, upvote the video. Donate on subscribestar.com/Duerst. If you think your intentions were all for the best, 'cause every sentence that comes out of your mouth is a contradiction. If not that, it's a straw man for you to breathe on. And honest apart from the friends that you've got, tearing down all these fake points of view. So I hope this song finds its way to you. Your facts are opinions, your stance is contingent on what suits you best. Your ideology blinds you when points of view find you. You only pretend that you can't possibly be wrong. Because here online we've already won this in our